Hi everyone, my name is Steph. This is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to review The Not So Quiet Life of Marcel Marceau by Jenn Bailey and Sherry Bushue. This is illustrated by Pamela Zagarenski, and this is a narrative non-fiction of the life of Marcel Marceau, who I didn't actually know all that much about. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest history person when it's not Australian history, so there's a lot of things that I need to fill my historical gaps with, but this was a really interesting book to read about this person who existed, who I had never ever heard of, but who has been quite influential, really, when you find out more about their life. The blurb on the back says, Marcel imitates everything: birds, people, plants, and even the wind. His family and friends respond with applause and shouts of praise, but the whispers of war are everywhere. Marcel was gifted at many things. He could draw, he could act, he could mimic anything. But before he could grow up, his country was invaded. As war gripped, Marcel used his gifts to save the lives of others. Such was the daring and incredible life of one small boy who became Marcel Marceau, the most famous mime in the world. These events took place during World War II, but we often don't get the stories of performers and artists and things like that, unless you kind of know who they are. They're not commonly talked about and the impact that they had. So essentially this story goes through Marcel's life from growing up to the war beginning to impact his family from having to flee. I love the format of this book in that we get the date of things that are happening, so you are really centered in Marcel's own timeline. So Marcel's family are Jewish. Throughout his life he was inspired by Charlie Chaplin, and he just became someone who is very much engaged in performing for other people as a child until he and his family have to flee due to the war. And then we find out that he became a very, very important person within the French resistance. He was using his art to create forged papers for people to help them escape, and was involved in many ways of keeping people's spirits up throughout the course of the war, until eventually the war was over and he began his career as a mime, and is the original image, I believe, for sort of the black and white stripes and the red hat and all that sort of thing, which I had honestly never thought about. This book is beautifully illustrated. Like, it is simply stunning to explore the images. There's so much detail, they're so interesting, and the color choice is really, really wonderful. At the back of the book there is also background knowledge, so this is really great if you're using it as a text to then also have background knowledge so that you can actually pull it apart. It's a great book. It's a great picture book for older readers looking at history and for looking at a different side of history than probably what you would normally expect, and also plenty of references for people who want to find out more information. There's some great book recommendations in here. I did not request this book. It was sent to me unsolicited by Allen and Unwin, so I do appreciate them sending it to me, because again, I probably wouldn't have picked it up on my own, mostly because I wouldn't have known anything about it, but I'm really glad that I read it because I've learned something new. It is a beautiful book. It's a great narrative biography to have for kids. I was very, very pleased to read this. In the description below, I will leave more information about the book, as well as a link to the publisher's website, so you can find out more information if you would like. I would love to know, have you read this book? Are you planning on picking it up? Do you have other recommendations for narrative biographies that are in picture book form? Feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, feel free to leave a butterfly emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.